This conference will now be recorded.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead. Please go.
From last 13 years, I work as a SAP functional consultant. Just want to switch over from AWS.
Your voice is too low, actually. Could you please move a little bit closer to the thing?
I'm into SAP from last 13 years.
Okay.
Two modules. So plan to learn for AWS technical as well.
So you're from the functional, right?
Yes, functional.
Okay. What are the modules?
SD and AWS.
Okay. So anything like in ABAP, do you have any experience like maybe debugging skills?
Long back, I was the faculty for C and Java, 15 years, 18 years.
Okay.
Less, I have an idea, but I forgot most of it.
Okay, so not basically completely programming. So just like debugging, how to identify what is the report, what is the module goal, and that kind of thing you are aware of, right?
Yes, I am aware of.
Okay, that's cool then.
Okay. Yeah, Vijay, go ahead, Vijay.
Yeah, so my name is Vijay Kumar. Currently, I'm in Canada. I have around 15 years of experience in SAP. I'm purely for ABAP developer. I worked almost all the SAP standard modules and EWM as well. So currently, I'm looking to upgrade myself for the EWM technical side, since I have some lot of requirement in my company. At the same time, we are planning to move EWM HANA implementation as well. So currently, we are doing for HANA EWM readiness process ongoing on. So that is the main reason I'm planning to learn something from EWM technical side.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, Balaji. Balaji, can you unmute and talk, Balaji?
Hey, this is Balaji. I have 10 years of experience. I also started my career as a ABAP technical programmer. I am into now. I shift my career to the functional side, WM and EWM, and I certified in WM and EWM as well. I just want to looking so how is different normal ABAP and EWM ABAP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is really different normal programming and EWM programming?
It's same as it is. There is no difference technically. But the thing is, we are going to create a specific solution, right? So compared to a normal, we are working with a specific solution EWM. Like we have these small modules like TM, EHS, right? So they have their own set of tables. They have their own set of enhancements. Okay. And,
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt you. Is it Raj speaking? Raj, your voice is breaking a lot.
My voice is breaking.
Yeah, I'm not able
the voice
to.
is coming up and down.
Oh, okay. Now is it clear?
Yeah, now it's okay. Still better.
I think except Raj, the rest will go for the mute. Then I think you can avoid this echo.
Yeah. So is there anyone? So before start, and Naveen, anyone is there?
Yeah, that's it, Raj.
Okay. So fine, and thanks Ram, Vijay and Balaji. Thanks for your introduction. Okay, myself is Raj. Okay, working as SAP technical consultant for past 10 years. Okay, have been there in core ECC, AWM, and TM. Okay, basically, and so also working on a HANA relevant technologies. So yeah, let's share my screen. Just I will clarify your queries.
Yeah, Roger, it's for a small suggestion. Except you, can you mute others, because we are getting some extra noise as well, if you don't mind.
Okay. I think Naveen, can you mute everyone except me?
Yeah, you can mute by yourself so that you can unmute and talk whenever you have a query. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. So is it clear now? You can chat also. I think if chat is enabled, that is also fine. Otherwise, you can unmute and you can talk. Okay. Yeah. So first we'll discuss about, before going to the content, just let's discuss about the prerequisites or what is there in the EWM. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So EWM technical solution, for this one, what is the prerequisite? So you guys are already aware of everything. So first one is some functional overview of either MM or SD, or it is better to have EWM already. That is also very good. Okay, and from technical point of view, it basically adapt only. Okay, there is no difference. Okay, there is no new thing here. A small difference is that is also not directly utilizing, that is a BOPF. Okay, so first one is code ABAP. Okay, OO ABAP. Okay, OO ABAP, and a small overview of BOPF. Okay, so business object processing framework. Okay, processing framework. Okay, so these are the prerequisites for here. Okay, since we are having the function modules and classes for the standard documents retrieval and documents posting and everything, and coming to the BOPF, it is not fully implemented. Okay, so only for delivery related documents data and updations they have used the BOPF, and all rest, what are the documents, okay, that I just will list it out. For all other documents, they're simply utilizing the function modules. Okay, simply utilizing the function modules. That BOPF is mainly used for the transportation management module, TM module, as well as the EHS. Okay, for the EWM there is very less. Okay, and coming to the enhancement frameworks, so this is BOPF is one of the framework. Okay, framework. So one is BOPF as explained plus baddies. Okay, all the enhancements are baddies only. There is no user exit, there is no customer exit. Okay, so all the enhancements are baddies. Okay, and next one is RF, radio frequency. Okay, this is basically for accessing the application from the handheld devices, right, mobile devices. So this is the RF framework. Okay, so here maybe you might have worked for the WM, right? If anybody worked for the WM, any idea? So there is a configuration development mixer actually. So one application is not fully developed. Okay, either it is a part of the configuration and some part is a development. If you club both, then only we can run an end-to-end application. Okay, that is a mix of the configuration development. So what are those? Let me list it out. Okay, what are the objects? Configuration development objects. Okay, so here SAP monitor, this is one of the tools. These are called as the tools actually. So tools. So SAP monitor, radio frequency, TP, post processing framework. Post processing framework. Okay, so this is similar to output management in SAP ECC. Okay, so post processing framework is similar to output management in ECC. So where output management is a subroutine driven, where it is a business baddie driven. Okay, that is the difference here. Okay, so this is just like what are the different technicals here. Rest of the things remain same, just it is a process oriented. Okay, let me show here some content. So before proceeding, any queries? Any queries?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
And one minute, regarding for the RF
Mhm.
radio frequency. So do you have any examples, something for the configuration and configuration? You mean to say only the presentation device?
I'm not getting it. You meant to say, are we developing anything or what?
In RF,
Mhm.
I think we have one or two examples, right? Mostly in training class.
Yes, yes, right. We'll be developing the custom applications. So what is the
Customized
what are
interface.
the
Okay,
configuration?
okay.
So
If
for
you are
all,
using
yes, please.
in RF especially, we have already standard SAP standard system driven given by 520125. System guided inbound, outbound, movement, posting, something like that. Along with that,
Okay.
if you want to create a separate tab pages, separate, instead of using presentation driven stars, you need to create a separate one and we need to have a separate push buttons. That also is part of this training.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me show you. So if I get your report. So this is the standard one, right?
Yes,
Inbound,
standard
outbound.
one. Yes, standard one. This is standard.
So we can
And
create our one. Okay, maybe this is another. So like this. So we can create our own custom RF transactions like this. So we can move it.
so this is also one kind of example that where you are going to taught us.
Yes, we have examples. So maybe if I listed here, in inbound process, we are going to say like this. Okay, posting the GR for inbound delivery, packing inbound delivery through the RF. Okay.
Okay, no problem. You can go ahead from the curriculum point of view, please.
Okay, yeah, fine. Okay, so this is the content we are going to discuss throughout our sessions. Okay, so where we are going to see some overview about the warehouse, and if you guys are already aware of the EWM overview, we can simply skip it. Okay, during the respective process, we are going to see the scenario and what is the scope of the various custom developments and what is the standard developments. Okay, that things we are going to see. Okay, so that is the one. And who are you? So anyhow, different processes. We'll be shortly discussing about the what is inbound process, what are the different documents gets created, and what is the outbound process. Okay, so what is the process? Even we have the simple inbound process and inbound process with POSC kind of thing, right? So that is also we're going to discuss. Okay, and what are the different tools? So we'll be seeing the introduction as well as the current architecture as well as the enhancement plus custom developments. 4. Okay. So value, current architecture, enhancing the standard, and our custom developments. Everything will be seen. So here we have the SAP monitor, post processing framework, PPF. It is nothing but a PPF, radio frequency, and work center. Okay. So these are the 4 tools actually we are going to see. And we'll be having one more tool that is a graphic workbench also. That is also we'll be seeing. But for that one, we'll be doing only how to configure the existing one. There is no custom development. Okay, that is also we'll be seeing. So next one is the integration point of view. So how the data being distributed from the ECC in EWM. Okay, what are the different function modules? And if you need to do some custom builds exchange between the ECC and EWM, how we are going to do. Okay, that is the things. Okay, that will be seen. And coming to the data model is nothing but what are the different tables for each and every document and what are the different function modes and classes. Okay, that is the data model. Yes, yes, please.
Regarding the integration, okay, normally there is a core data interface, that's nothing but a SIF, that is okay from SD, EWM, MM, EWM. Is there any planning for to teach for PP to EWM and QM to EWM integration? And TM also?
Yeah, QM EWM not planned actually. So we can see up to MM and SD. So PP also have to check because production integration I'm using the existing configurations only.
Existing production integration means production and also the QA engine, quality management.
Quality engine. Okay, so actually for the production integration and for the QM I'm making use of the existing configuration. Okay, I will try to check that one.
Okay.
Some of the
okay, AS1 has nothing but if we can integrate that with WBC. What is that? WBC Internet Web Browser, NWBC or normal one?
It's a normal one. NWBC basically for the TM.
No, we will use in the production also. We can create a Verostas NWBC.
Okay. For the consumption and the receiving posting, we have the NWBC, correct? For the two
NWBC or RF also.
Yeah, right. For the RF, actually, what is happening nowadays? So for this S4HANA systems, instead of going with the normal NWBC transaction, everything they have integrated in the field applications. Okay, so how we are running in the normal NWBC or normal GUI, we can run same thing from the theory. Maybe let me quickly show you that RFU, right? Right now I have a
I understand. I know RFU.
okay, yeah.
Only thing, if possible, if it is maybe I'm expecting the first one RF enhancements, RF the multiple screens and other logics. Other one is for TM integration with EWM.
TM integration with EWM. TM or TM, you mean to say?
TM, not
Transport.
PM. Yeah, transport.
Okay, sure.
If possible, not mandatory. Okay.
Yeah, I'm adding because I also I will also check actually.
No problem. Okay, that's okay.
Right? Yeah. So even actually we use it to ask the folks that like if you get any new requirement in your current project, okay. So please let us inform so that everybody.
I think everybody having some requirements in current project, so I know that.
Yeah, we will try to implement here so that
Sure.
like it on and on. Yeah. Okay, so and coming to the data model, this we are going to discuss like what are the different tables, function, modules, and classes. Okay, enhancement spots, how to identify and everything. Okay, so technical stuff. And coming to the queue, how to schedule a queue and how to debug the queue and everything we're going to see. Troubleshooting kind of thing also we'll be seeing. Okay, and SAP monitor. These are the tools. Right. So what we are going to see that. Okay, what we discussed in the tool section, that is allocated information. And graphical framework, this is also one of the tool, right? We are going to discuss the graphical display of the SAP data, right? So these are the things. Maybe let me quickly show you if somebody is not aware of that. Is your cockpit, okay? So take place there. So like, so but this is really used in the EWM point of view because most of the clients they're using the BW system separately. So every time they are going to move the data from the ECC to EWM through some extractors, okay, they are going to do reporting from the BW system. Okay, but any project which is having very less amount of operations and less budget, then they're simply utilizing this one. Okay, instead of installing a separate software like SAP BW kind of thing, right? So they can simply go with this one for the smaller warehouses, not for the bigger warehouse. So less volume of maybe products or less frequency of the movements. Okay, in this time they can go.
Raj, you mean to say that is expected incoming into the warehouse report, a graphical report, or what this is?
This one basically.
GR is pending is different completely.
This one, right? No, GR pending is not pending actually. There is some issue here.
Okay.
Okay, so it is not on only total inbound deliveries and this is a put away pending inbound deliveries. Only it is showing here.
Put away pending inbound deliveries. Okay.
Yeah, maybe that is still at a GR zone. Okay,
but this is now done within SAP itself.
This is the behind actual SAP monitor. In the SAP monitor, we are able to see as a table control, right? ALV. Here we are seeing in a graphic. That's it. That is the only difference. This is completely relying on the SAP monitor only. Without SAP monitor, we cannot achieve this. Okay, so behind, let's say for example, let me double click on it. Now we can see that it will go to the. It has to take automatically. Now you can see that monitor. Okay. So go there from here. There is some configuration that we have issue like this. Okay. Yeah. So this is actually one of the for graphical representation, but used only for smaller warehouses, not for the bigger one. Okay, that is also. Yes. Okay, so these are the various tools: SAP Monitor, Post Processing Framework, Radio Frequency, Work Center, and Graphic Framework. So Work Center, you know, right? Packing stations. So it could be a reconsolidation zone. It could be a packing station. Okay. So if you need any additional tabs in the pack station, how we're going to issue that kind of thing will be seen. Okay. /SCW. So we can have our own packing station here. Okay, we can do simply, we can write some piece of logic, we can pack here with the custom specifications. So everything rest is the standard one. Okay, we are going to pack that one accordingly. Okay. We can also add our own tabs here. So that is a work center. Maybe 1 second. Vijay, you are aware of the EWM functional processes or not? Just as simply I'm going to the respective thing without explaining anything.
Yeah, yes, Raj. Just actually, I'm new to the EWM. So technical, I'm an ABAP side, I know everything, but the EWM side, the functionally, I'm zero knowledge.
Okay, okay. So processes and everything we are not aware of, right?
Yeah, I'm not aware of that.
Okay, okay, then. Okay, no problem. Just I will quickly give you some overview on that.
So that's whatever you're showing some screens, it's totally new for to me.
Okay, 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 fine. So yeah, okay, no worries. Like just I'm explaining the specific tools. Okay, how we're going to utilize.
And one more thing, Raj. So this particular curriculum, it's fully for the functional or both technical come functional, Raj?
It's basically for technical, but coming to the EWM, so there is at least 40% functional we must learn.
Oh, okay.
So when we are a technical consultant, we must know, because I told you, right? So these tools completely development, whatever you are doing the development, that is not a full-fledged development.
Okay.
Okay, we can on its own. So we must configure those developments into configuration activities. Okay.
Okay.
So here almost we have the 30 to 70 configuration plus development activities. 30, 70. Okay. And
Raj, 1 minute. In whatever you are selected in the Excel sheet, that you are focusing nearly 30 programs in that in this selection list.
30% is a configuration. 30% is a configuration.
Okay, okay. Now I'm not asking. If technical point of view, from starting from SAP Monitor or PPF and RF and the Work Center and the Work Center, out of 4, this is 4. Out of these 4, is there nearly 20 10 programs or 30 programs we are planning? 10, 20, 30, something like this number? Enhancements, or 1 and 2, each one.
Each one or two. You can see that already I have listed it. What is a comes under the monitor? What is it comes under the RF?
Okay, good. Sorry.
I mentioned here.
Okay, good.
Okay, so just I'm giving the like how much percent of the configuration, how much percent of the development.
Okay. Raj, one quick question. So for those developments and all, like the ECC environment or
basically it is a NetWeaver only. Okay, there is no change in how you're doing in the ECC, how you're doing in the EWM. Same SE38, same SE80, same thing. Okay, development quantum. Okay, SE24, these are SE11. So development environment remains same for ECC and EWM.
Okay, that's great. And one more thing. So this is based on the HANA platform, right? So for this one, we need like OData, that kind of thing is required.
That is completely depending on how we are developing your end-to-end application. Okay.
Okay.
Since we are talking about S/4HANA, right? Let me quickly give you that as well. Okay. So if we are developing one application, there are 2 options for us. One is traditional programming.
Okay.
That one is S/4 programming. Okay. One more thing like FF/HANA programming. Third one is a S/4 programming. That is completely our luxury, whatever the option we are choosing. Okay. So in the traditional programming, so here every application contains 3 parts: screen, okay, application logic, and DB logic. Okay. So screen means either it could be a selection screen or something modelable, like what are the bigger screens in PTI. Okay. So these we are going to develop in the using ABAP only. Okay.
Okay.
In ABAP, either parameter statement or select option options. Okay, or SC51 painter. Okay, we have the 3 options.
Yeah.
Correct. So coming to the ABAP logic, we have the application logic. We have the ABAP. We have the loop statement, if statement.
Yeah, the normal SQLs. Yep.
Right. Everything is a ABAP only. And coming to the we have the OpenSPL. So don't need to go any SQL DB or MySQL or maybe Oracle. There is no need to learn anything. Simply OpenSQL is sufficient to build your DB logic. Okay.
Okay.
But unfortunately, we have only two options here. One is select statement. Next one is like modification statement, like insert, update, delete. Okay, so insert,
delete, update. Yeah.
update, delete. Okay. So if you want to build any application with your traditional programming knowledge, then ABAP is sufficient to build end-to-end application. Okay, we can directly run it. We develop run it, right? So nothing to worry about. Okay, here. So even EWM or ECC, whatever it may be, you can take anything. You can.
Okay.
ABAP and HANA. Okay, so what is the difference here? Okay, so in ABAP and HANA, so we have the HANA database. HANA is a proprietary database. Okay, so HANA is a proprietary database, so that we can have access to the HANA database and we can do some development in the HANA level. Okay, what is some development? Some development means building the application logic. That's it.
Okay.
Building application logic in the HANA.
Okay, so this is for which platform? Like
yeah, this can be suitable for maybe business.
ECC as well. ECC 7.5 or something.
Yeah, business suite on HANA. Okay, it could be ECC on HANA. Okay, I will explain that. Okay, maybe EWM on HANA. Okay, maybe TM on HANA, whatever it may be. Okay. So how we are going to identify? Simply we go to system status. If your backend database is HDB, okay, we need
the HANA database.
HANA database, and your complete stack is also application stack is also HANA means you have to click here. Okay, so if you go to install product versions, since if you are seeing the S4 core here, you can see that S4 foundation area, S4 core, yeah, S4 on-premise, right?
Yeah.
It is S4 on. If it is just a ECC on HANA, it is not S4 HANA, it is just a ECC on HANA, we can see the individual components here, like HR components and MM components, SD components, like separately we will have. Okay, so it is a ECC on HANA. It is a S4 HANA, we can see this component, S4 HANA on-premise. Okay, that is the difference. So that means a system can be enhanced at the DB level and application level, both the things. Okay, DB level and application level. Suite on HANA, business suite on HANA, just it is an enhancement of the database. There is no change in the application. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this time, what we can do? Application logics. Okay. So we can use some HANA relevant technologies. Okay. There are two things here. Okay. HANA technologies. One is ABAP HANA and native HANA. Okay. So for both, what is the prerequisite? Our system must be running on the HANA database. Okay. In this time, ABAP HANA nothing but serious use AMDPs.
Okay. AMDP.
And one more thing, SALV IDE. SALV IDE. Okay, these are the three things. And coming to the native HANA, so there is a procedures. Okay, functions and modeling like this. Okay, so these are the components here. Okay, so here what will happen? So these are the HANA components. That means we are moving some part of the ABAP logic, some part of the ABAP logic to the DB. Okay. Along with your basic select queries, we're also moving some loop processing, if processing kind of thing to here. So what will happen? Screen remains same. We can keep like this. Okay. Coming to the ABAP. Okay. So what we can say that ABAP minus ABAP HANA. Okay. That means whatever the rest of whatever we are completely implementing in ABAP HANA, only remaining logic we are going to build in ABAP. Okay, because it is not luxury that we are going to do everything. Okay, let's say for example, if you want to call the remote function module, ABAP HANA cannot support. Okay, and if you want to send the error, ABAP HANA won't support. But what it can support? What are the logic? What are the data fetching? What are the filling internal tables? That can be done with the ABAP HANA. Okay. That part you can build here, and that input we are going to give this ABAP point of view, so it will do the rest of the thing. Okay. So that means what happened? Load on the ABAP reduced. load on ABAP ready. Here. Okay. So now this is the ABAP Anana programming. And coming to the S4. Okay. So S4 is completely renovation of the existing ECC, right? Renovation of existing ECC. So in this time, what they did, okay, for the standard application, they have given the standard CDS views, standard AMDP, standard CDS views, okay, and standard AMDPs. So I'm talking about the standard programs only. So that means SAP has given all the ABAP Anana objects for the standard applications. Plus, they have used ABAP Anana objects and applications. Objects in applications. Okay. Maybe it's a sales order or purchase order or whatever it may be. And coming to the screen point of view, so there is a small manipulation they have done. They have done this one, but we can run this application from the Fiori.
Fiori.
Apps from Fiori. And plus,
so here we need OData, right? From the web point of view.
Yeah, I will explain that one too. Okay, I will add that point as well. Okay, redesign several apps. Okay, as Fiori application. Okay, now you can see that. So in the Fiori point of view, they are doing two things. One is they have completely built the Fiori application, okay, end to end. Second one is existing GUI application that can directly run from the SAP Fiori. Okay, that are the two things. Right, what you said is correct. So in order to run for the Fiori application, we must have one more layer that's called as a service layer. Okay, so here you can say that between the screen and app logic, we have the one more point, service layer. Okay, so here when you are using this kind of application, we must have the OData service. Okay, OData service. So SAP
OData or web ID, anyone? Oh, sorry, OData. Okay, fine. Yeah.
We are going to build in Fiori applications in a web ID. That is a tool. Okay.
But in HANA, we need to use like Eclipse or web ID, anything, right?
Yeah, I will explain. Tool point of also I will explain where we are going to do these developments. Okay. So here, what are the different components? How it is evolving? Okay. Now coming to the ABAP HANA. Okay, SAP is not provided any standard Fiori. Okay, we have to develop our own, or we need to purchase the package. Okay, separately. Because when you are changing your database to HANA database, they will not give application component. They will give only migrate the old database to new database. That means tables moving from the either Oracle to HANA database. That's it, like that. Okay. But coming to the front end, you are expecting the Fiori applications as well. Okay, there are two options. One is HANA Live, kind of thing. Okay, that means HANA not exactly live. So they can give the some of the Fiori applications for you. Okay, for the standard application we can use. Plus, we have to develop our custom Fiori applications here. Okay. So for the Fiori application, there is no dependency on the underlying database. Okay, Fiori doesn't require HANA as a database. Here also we can do that. Why? Because so Fiori application cannot directly communicate to ABAP automatically, either ABAP or database. It must be there. There is one intermediate layer, service layer. Okay. So OData service is sufficient for the Fiori application. It can communicate anything. Okay, there is a break between here. So Fiori application can run on the traditional programming, traditional system, ABAP HANA system, or export system. Okay, but only focusing on the backend, because this is completely for building the Fiori application. We must have the knowledge of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery. Okay, as that kind of thing. Okay, directly or indirectly. Indirectly means why I'm saying that. So in SAP UI5, for Fiori, they're having this some simplified classes and methods. So classes and methods means front-end classes and methods, not aware. Okay, so it will internally handle that. That is also we must be aware of that. Okay,
Okay.
for any.
So those things are based on the company's requirement, right? So say for example, my company, if they are using for S4, we can use like that, right?
Correct. Obviously, completely depending on the how they want to run their application first of all.
Okay.
When they're giving an application, they want to run only GUI. Then we can simply go with traditional development. Even backend is HANA. We don't need to worry about Fiori and everything. either S4HANA or ABAP on HANA or traditional programming. So if they want to run application in a normal GUI, so we don't need to worry about the Fiori.
Okay, so in this course, what we are going to learn?
So this is basically we're going to see complete EWM thing.
Okay.
EWM, but this is since we're anyhow having the different strategies nowadays happening, right? Rapidly moving the changes here. So I will explain one end-to-end scenario how we're going to develop a traditional application. Anyhow, we are already aware of this, okay? And how to do with the ABAP HANA for a specific application, and how to do with the S4HANA specific application.
Okay.
So I will show the difference here. Okay, how to build and then all these things. Okay. Now, so for EWM point of view, that is up to you that when you're building one report, let's say for example, you are developing one report for a list of open deliveries or something, or open warehouse tasks. Okay. You can adopt anything here. Either you can run like this or run like this, or sorry, develop like this or develop like this. Okay, what are the artifacts you want to utilize?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Raj.
So yeah, okay. So now coming to the tools, right? Just you were asked, right? So what are the development environments? Instead of the tools, we can say that integrated development environments where we're developing. So for this one, SAP Workbench is sufficient. Workbench is nothing but SE38, SE37, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the SE24 and SE11 like this. Okay, what are the tools? What are transactions we are using? That is sufficient for the ABAP development. And here also ABAP development does same thing, but coming to the ABAP on HANA, okay, so we have the Eclipse or HANA Studio. HANA Studio, okay, that are necessary because in traditional NetWeaver Workbench we cannot develop the CDS views or AMDPs. Okay, it will not support syntax checking and execution and everything. So Eclipse is the tool. Under this one we have the ABAP perspective. Okay, so where we can do our existing ABAP developments as well as the new ABAP developments, both we can do here. Okay, so that means you can write the programs here, you can write the classes here. Okay, you can write the function module here, plus the newer concept like CDS MDP also we can write here. Okay, and one more thing, native HANA. Okay, if you want to go with, yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, Raj, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please.
I understand that the traditional workbench is SE38 or SE38 is 37. When it comes to the HANA Studio, it is upgrade version for BW, right? For reporting purpose?
No, it is an additional tool actually. It is a non-SAP tool. Okay, you can see here. Let me open this quickly. Okay, this is the outside development environment. We can connect to our SAP system. We can do our development.
Okay.
So we are doing like this, right? SAP Launchpad, we are doing our development. Similarly, it is the development outside environment, so through which we can.
Okay. Eclipse, I'm not asking. I'm asking. Sharing the screen. Come back to Excel. This HANA Studio, I'm asking.
Yeah, both. HANA Studio Eclipse are both.
Okay.
One another.
Okay.
HANA Studio built on top of the Eclipse only.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So they keep on upgrading the Eclipse because you can see that it is a 2020-09. Even 2020 is 12 version also available for Eclipse. For HANA Studio, I think they might have stopped that. So they are also using Eclipse only.
Okay.
Okay, maybe let me quickly show. Yeah, here it is having.
Eclipse also it's a built developed by SAP itself.
Eclipse also not getting it.
Eclipse also Eclipse product is also related is developed by SAP itself.
No. It's completely outside, open source.
Outside. Open source.
Java development, C developments, everything under Eclipse.
Okay.
Okay, this is a common development environment, we can say. So we have to download the respective tools under this one. This is a common editor. So here we have to download. So right now, let me open that. Perspective, open perspective. So Right now, these are the tools. Okay, some of the tools are related to our SAP, and some of the tools related to some other programming. Okay, that are default coming. Java. Okay, you can see that Java related developments and Git. So this is ABAP related, and you can see that HANA relevant tools here. Okay, so if something is missing, if something is missing in this particular tool, we can go to the Eclipse site. There you can find the link. You have to install here. How to install? Here, install new software. Simply. So here they will give some list here. Maybe any new releases are coming, they will display here.
So Raj, one quick question, Raj. So when the time of course, we will get the server access as well, right?
Right, immediately. Yes, correct.
So and that is the case, we can get Eclipse, everything, the connectivity, these things also you will teach, right? So how to connect the Eclipse and those things as well.
Eclipse we can download directly from site. Okay, there is no additional connectivity for that, but backend SAP connection is needed for it.
No. So my question is how we can connect the Eclipse to the SAP ECC or HANA's database like that.
I will show that.
Okay.
So yeah, that's actually one day task only. We can learn each and everything here.
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah. So simply we have to connect our SAP system here. We need to link it. So now if I go to cloud packages, anything already linked. Okay, cloud I have added now. Let me add one package here so that I will show that objects inside the package. Add package EWM star. Yeah, let me open the 6. Yeah, on the source code library, we have the programs. The editor looks different comparatively SC38. Okay,
yeah,
a little bit different. But remaining functionalities, syntax check, activate, execute, debug, everything is there. Okay, we can do complete end-to-end development here itself. It's taking time actually. Update my web dependencies.
Video local. Okay, let it run meanwhile. Yeah, you can see that. So this is one of the program here. Okay, so simply we can execute. Sorry. Sorry. Execute. Excuse me. So we can do W01. Right. No data. I must give this some other details as well. Web application. Okay. Now you can see that it's a normal execution. We can develop and you can test here itself. Okay, in the Eclipse itself. We no need to connect to SAP login pad. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So this is the development environment. So when you are going to develop your ABAP Anana concepts, so we must go with the Eclipse tools here. Otherwise, you can simply develop your application in a traditional workbench transactions. Okay. Right. So this is the tool, one of the important tool here, Eclipse and ABAP perspective. Because within the Eclipse we have so many perspectives. Okay, this is ABAP perspective purely for ABAP development. And coming to, let me open one more perspective. under HANA admin console. Okay, now it's okay, not yet open, right? No database connected. Let me open that. How the admin console looks like actually. That is a database access. Okay, till now we don't have any access to the database. So whenever HANA has been released, so from there onwards we got the access to HANA database. Okay, this is HANA database. Okay, so we have connected to HANA. So that means this is our ECC component or NetWeaver component. This is DB component. Two things. Okay, this is ABAP layer and this is DB layer. Okay, so till now how we are connecting with this is SAP GUI, SAP GUI or SAP browser, SAP GUI, and here also it is SAP GUI. So why I'm telling, let me explain that. And this is browser. So browser application or external application. So external system, and so browser plus query client both. Okay, so this is running point of view. If you want to execute the application, so business user point of view, they may use anything, either SAP GUI, either browser, maybe any third-party application, .NET Java application. Okay, everything is going to connect in our landscape only ABAP layer only. It will not connect to the database directly. Okay, you might run one transaction, you might call the RFC program or something. Everything is contacting the ABAP layer. So from there is an integration between the ABAP layer and the underlying database, so that the complete execution of the application will take place. Okay, because all the data is available in here, right? So it will take the data, it will process, it will send it back. Okay, this is executing the applications or programs. Okay, like ME21N, VA01, VA05, like that. Okay, or fear applications, or maybe NWBC application, FPM application, whatever it may be. And coming to the development point of view, okay, developers point of view. So they're going to utilize the SAP GUI. Why? Because they have to do the development. Okay, here they will be using the ABAP workbench transactions. Okay, ABAP workbench transaction for their development. So SC38, SC24, okay, SC11, like this. So in this time, okay, so this SAP GUI connecting to the SAP ABAP layer only, not with the database. Okay, we don't have database access. But now coming to the Eclipse. Okay, this is my Eclipse, which contains basically two parts I am dividing. So one is ABAP layer. Okay, ABAP perspective. Next one is the HANA perspective. Okay, with the ABAP perspective, we can connect to the ABAP layer, and with the HANA perspective, we can connect to the database directly. Okay, so when we connect to the ABAP perspective, we can do two things. Okay, ABAP development plus ABAP on HANA development here. Okay, so when we connect to the database, we can do the native HANA development here, like this. Okay, so this is our HANA Studio or Eclipse. Maybe once I explain one or two objects so that you will get understand that. Okay, so end of our course, when I am going to show you this one as well. Okay, what are the different objects we are going to develop for one application. Okay, so got it. So with this particular IDE, Eclipse IDE, so we can do two kinds of developments. This is native HANA developments. Okay, there we can see our procedures and function kind of thing. Okay, and models as well. Let me open a model, any existing model available. Okay, okay, let me run it. Any data available? Currency, let's see, and the date, today's date. Okay, it looks like actually a BW tool, but yes, ideally it is a BW tool only. There is no doubt. Okay, and HANA initially developed for the BW point of view only, not for ECC point of view, because they have to perform the huge processing for the huge amount of data. Okay, that's why they have improvised the database and they created a new. This is basically for the BW only. But later they have adopted the same thing to the normal ECC systems as well, ECC or AWM or TM, whatever it may be. Okay, so that's why database tools almost same as BW tools. This is basically for BW only. Okay, we rarely, very rarely use the database tools. Okay, until unless it is necessary. Let's say, for example, you can see that like this. Okay, this is actually modeling. So purchase our specific amounts like this. Okay, this is the reporting tool kind of thing. Okay, this is the testing tool only, but in the actual tool is also looks like same. Okay, they have given the same tool here for testing point of view. Okay, so in the underlying HANA we have the native HANA developments. Okay, but ECC point of view we never use this one. We never use. Okay, but at what scenarios we are going to use, that is also I will explain later. Okay, so sometimes it is necessary. What are those conditions? Okay, that I will explain that. Okay, but right now just I would like to show you that various development environments and how we are going to connect to the respective system, what kind of developments we'll be doing.
Okay, Raj, one question, Raj. So
Yeah,
for the development point of view, we are going to use for ADT or AMDP, Raj?
Could you please repeat ADT? This is called an ADT, Outline Development Toolkit. Whatever the
Okay.
perspective. With this one
So
we
my
can
question
do.
is, we are going to use ADT and AMDP both, or which one we are going to use for the development for our training in this training?
Okay. So we'll be mostly doing it the SAP NetWeaver only. With this one only we are going to do all developments.
You mean the ECC?
Yeah, right. ECC workbench.
Oh, okay. But you will explain how to do in the ADT and I mean HANA environment as well, right?
Yeah, sure. I will explain. No worries. So maybe we can also develop. So maybe initially I will show 1 or 2 reports so that you will get understanding on that.
Oh, okay. That's what we need, some little bit understanding. Then it's okay. Thank you, Raj.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So now this is the implicit part of the EWM or ECC. When you are working on the S/4HANA system, this is the implicit part. Okay, it is not relevant to either EWM or TM or ECC. It is common for every ABAP programming. Okay. So even you're doing EWM, you're doing TM, you're doing ECC point of view also, we have to decide what process I'm following, whether traditional programming I'm following or ABAP programming following or S4HANA following like that. Okay, this is completely implicit concept here. Yeah. So now, okay, so I think, okay, we spent a lot of time on the differentiation. That is also very needed actually. Okay. Yeah, coming to here, so we have basically classified the entire thing into 4 different blocks. One is inbound process, outbound process, production integration, and internal warehouse process. Okay, these are the sections. So in the inbound process, we are going to see that all the developments comes under the simple put-together process. We are going to discuss reporting point of view and creating the documents. Okay, how to create the warehouse task, how to pack the HUs, okay, how to post the GR, and how to confirm the warehouse task. Almost all the technical concepts we are going to discuss throughout our inbound process. Okay, so inbound process would take a lot of time because we have to introduce all these tools and we have to do several developments. Okay, almost 50% of the time, 50% of the time will take under this inbound process. Okay, because introduction of the tools plus implementing the some of the things, and rest of the things will take rest of the 50%, 40 to 50%, so that we can, because when we are reaching to this portion, that means you're already aware of all these tools and processes, so that we can run it quickly. Okay. Yeah, here. So what are the things we are going to see? That simple put-together process. Okay, without packing. That means directly from the GR to put-together process. Okay, and then put-together process with the transportation unit. What is the TU kind of thing? And the storage process, POSC. Okay, these are the process we are going to see. This one is only configuration point of view, and coming to this one, we are going to see the developments as well. This, because how to create the transportation unit, okay, how to assign the delivery to it, like that we are going to see. And these are the various developments. Okay, developments are in the respective areas. Okay, enhancement point of view, what we are going to see. Okay, so UI enhancement, what we are going to see, monitor, what are the monitors we are going to develop, custom RF and custom DPF. Okay, in the end-to-end flow, maybe let me show that. So this is for existing one, yeah, like this. You can see that this is the end-to-end flow from ECC delivery creation to final goods only. In this time, so these are the normal activities. These are the enhancement points. Okay, so how we are going to do these enhancements? Okay, so from ECC delivery to distribute the delivery, and then it will be creating a EWM delivery. Then from here, subsequent actions like creating, which you posting the GR, creating the warehouse task. After that, we are configuring the warehouse task. This is the end of the process, right? In this time, what is the scope of the various enhancement? How we are going to implement? Okay, we'll be seeing.
Raj, this is Ram.
Yes, yes, please.
So whatever you highlighted in the yellow color, this flow of
Yes.
the process, all we are touching the enhancements, right?
1 second, voice is breaking. 1 moment, please.
Whatever you highlighted in the flow, yellow color,
Okay,
all are related to enhancements.
these are enhancements, right? No color is actually actual steps, and these are the enhancement scope of the enhancement here. Okay, here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we'll be discussing that one, like, okay, how to identify and how to implement. Okay, and yeah, coming to the outbound process. So we have the simple outbound process with the transportation units. Okay, so PSHs, how to perform the carterization planning and how to work with the wave process. Okay, that will be same. And these are the couple of enhancements. Right, this different color. 1 second. So these are the various developments. Okay. And the production integration. Okay, so we'll be saying that both inbound and outbound flow of the production integration, right? Because production integration have done both of the things. So receivables as well as consumables, right? So receivable is actually for inbound process and consumable actually for outbound process. So both will be same. Okay. So what are the scope of the different developments? And then internal warehouse process. So how to perform the physical and inventory end to end with the custom developments. How to create the physical inventory document, posting the accounts and everything. And then the subsequent operations like stock transfer, posting, replenishment, and other components. Okay, so we'll be saying that one.
You have enhancements
So
in internal warehouse process also, Raj?
which one?
Do you have some enhancements in internal warehouse process also?
Yeah, whatever the enhancements you are seeing, that internal warehouse is basically dealing with the creating HUs and confirming warehouse tasks, right? Create warehouse tasks, confirm warehouse tasks. So obviously that will be covered. This is not only for inbound delivery, but also for outbound delivery, production material request, everything. Okay, because almost everything is common, right? This for this, ER posting or GI posting, create HUs, common. So these are the common process. So it can be applicable for all. Okay, so these are the topics. I think Navin shared the course content or no?
No, I think.
No, he shared content, shared the course content. That looks like different, but this looks like different.
Yeah, that is different. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. So almost that has been prepared from here. I think maybe I can share the new one. Okay, I will check.
I think this is more elaborative and clear, and it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so for Vijay, actually, I couldn't run one entire scenario. So since you are not aware, okay, maybe we'll do one thing. So we'll plan one more session quickly for you. I will just run one scenario for you so that you can understand what are the things. Okay.
Oh, sure. Regarding functional, right?
Yeah, recording functional, yes, right. So I will explain what is the architecture. I think maybe if others also require, then we'll do that one too. What is the architecture? What is the master data transaction data in AWM point of view? So that we can.
Sure. Thank you, Raj.
Thank you. Okay. So any queries?
Yeah, Raj, I have a quick question. Like, so in this, once we complete this entire course, we are eligible, we are ready to go for certification as well, or?
Certification altogether is completely, it's a question and answer kind of thing, right? So multiple choice. Maybe actually I never tried the certification, how it looks as well as SAP technical.
As per my understanding, certification is completely different.
Completely different. Okay.
Yeah.
Because mostly you will touch base only for only for the I mean what do you call not in the ground level for any technicality, but theoretically you will face completely 90%.
You mean 90% for the functional point of view? You're saying?
No, technical theoretically.
Oh, theoretically. Okay.
Theoretically, not ground level. As function point. As
Yeah. Normally, all the certifications all are like that only, right? So, but
yes,
anyway.
Yes, right.
I believe functional, I have done 3 certifications. Technical, I have not done. Based on that experience, I'm saying any certification, as per my understanding, only theoretically.
Yeah, that I know. But in the EWM, they have only functional certification only, right? The functional certification only available, right, in the market.
Technical is also available. I'm not sure. I will get a chance to check that.
I think technical is not available for the EWM for the EWM, but I came to know that functional is available, but I'm not sure technical.
Function is available as well. Function is available.
Yeah, functional is available, but technical is not available, I think.
Okay.
So the EWM version is 9.5, right? What we are learning right now.
Yeah, this is S/4HANA 1909. It is component is 9.5.
Okay.
One second, let me quickly open this.
Hi, Raj, I have one question.
Yes.
Right now, this ABAP course we are going to learn is on S/4HANA. I mean, integrated embedded in EWM or distributed EWM. Okay.
It is embedded.
So, yeah. So, is there tables are different for EWM or normal tables like?
Entire process, everything is same except a very few things. That is only one additional document will be extra created in the distributed environment. That is a request document, we can say. And master data we don't need to distribute in the same system. It is available. Okay, that is the two things different from the embedded to distributed.
The tables are different.
No, same table, same. Complete technical architecture remains same.
For EWM,
which one you mean to say? EWM anyhow separate box, right? Generally EWM is a separate box, SCM box, right? So it have its own tables, function models, and everything. Even we have incorporated within the S/4HANA system, the complete component have been moved to here. That means still it is a separate component inside S/4HANA. It is an independent.
That's true. Yeah. We can access the EWM. Yeah.
That's how that's own tables again. That's own function models and everything. Okay, there is no change in that.
If you have 1 or 2 minutes, can you show me the tables, a few tables?
Okay, let me show you.
What process? If you just have.
Okay, so if you want to see the tables, you can see that. This is the delivery header, inbound delivery header. Okay, CHI.
So SCDL/DB.
SCDL means SCM delivery process. Okay, naming convention also we can keep in mind. Okay, so DB database anyhow. Processing. This I means inbound delivery or outbound delivery. Okay, on production material cost. This will be changed here. And last I means it is a header table or item table. Okay, let me open one more session. Okay, if last I made it, sorry, this one. Okay, you can see that this is a header item, and this is the inbound delivery or outbound delivery. You can see that header and inbound delivery. I want to open the outbound delivery, the same naming convention, and we need to make it to both. It's outbound delivery. Okay, we can see that outbound delivery. And if you want to go to the production material request, that is a process order kind of thing. So at the end you have to give B. These are delivery related. Okay, anyhow, just I will give that information as well. I think I mentioned here, let me quickly show how I will do. This is for your reference. This time I'm given this is the existing sheet. So when we're explaining this, yeah, you can see that we'll be giving that what are the different tables we're using.
Okay.
Like this will be giving extra tables. What are the different classes we'll be using throughout the process like this.
Querying these tables is same as the old above, like select statements.
Which one? Which
for
one?
these tables? For querying these tables, the EWM tables. So querying like select statements are same or different select statements we need to use.
Development point remains same. What are the loop statement? What are the if statement? What is the select statement? Everything remains same. Only we are querying the different table. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So
primary
point
key
of
concept
view,
or
yeah. So there is a small difference here. That is in the EWM and TM, we are relying on the GUIDs, GUIDs. Okay. So instead of the normal key fields. Okay. So if VBAK table is there, VBLN is a key field, right? But here you can see that document ID, GUIDs. Okay, it's of type RAM. Okay, so here there is no primary key concept is there, but foreign key is not necessary. Okay, because this is the GUID. Okay, hexadecimal value. This is always unique. Okay, and this is the header table, right? Let me open the item table. If you see here, this document ID is referring to the main table. Okay, no need to maintain the foreign key. Okay, we can see that there is no foreign key relationship. It is always unique. So we can simply take this document ID, we can go to the header table, we can pull it out. Okay. The value will not be repeated. So I will explain why GUIDs are there. So in each and every table, GUIDs are present. Okay, that is the one extra thing. Actual number, actual human readable values are not a key fields. You can see document number, item number. These are not a primary key field. It's just a data field only. Okay. Completely GUID driven. Okay, the relation is also I will explain. So you can see that how the tables are related here. So delivery header to delivery item, reference document, HUs, how we are going to identify the where I was task and everything. Okay. Okay. So, yes. So any queries? So, but first time if you're seeing this one, maybe little bit tables are completely different, right? The naming namespace, whatever it is. But if you start habituating this one, it is easier than the normal ECC actually, because it is very small component. Okay. So what are the process we are taking that is remain same for the different process as well. Okay. So it's a very small module, right? Compared to a complete ECC. ECC we have to work for MM, we have to work for SD, we have to work for PP. So when we are working as ECC developer, but coming to the EWM developer, we are working with a very smaller portion. So even enhancements, let me open that one too. So if you want to see the enhancement, you can simply go to one transaction. Okay, under this one, ESC main display under the composite. So these are the different spots under for each and every area. Okay. So delivery processing, ERP integration, internal warehouse process. Okay. So internal components. So we have the common area. If you double click on it, let me open the delivery. Under the spots, these are the different spots, and where at what time it is going to be triggered, and delivery determination. Click on. So now these are the enhancements. So identifying the bad is also easy in the EWM.
Okay. So for those ones, Raj, you teach how to debug as well, right?
Yeah, right. There is.
Okay.
We'll see
Okay.
that.
Thank you. That's what.
Yeah, troubleshooting is also part of it.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Because those things all are methods kind of thing, right? So yeah, the kind of object oriented. So
right. So you guys are aware of the OOAB, right? Something at least, not maybe once, at least what is the class? That is more than enough. Yeah, that's more than enough. Yeah. Okay. So yes, okay. Any queries? Any queries here?
Okay, so what about the total duration of the session? I mean, course, entire course, Raj? How long it will take, and how we will going to take every day or weekly, and how?
Yeah, so time I will confirm. Okay, so based on the checking the thing with Naveen, and coming to the duration, it is around 45 to 60 hours. That means it span around, let's say for example, it might have start next week. 3,
Okay.
4, 5, 6. By the third week of the February, we can close it like this. Second week or third week.
Okay, so
If it is
it's
a time,
everyday session or I mean weekly one.
yeah, we'll try to have both. Actually, maybe right now I'm a little bit busy with some other work. Okay, we'll try
Okay.
to have the batch Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
Otherwise, time is also possible. Then I will try to make it a weekday also. Okay, I will provide the details to Naveen so that based on that he can discuss with you guys and confirm.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, any queries? Any more queries?
No, from my side.
So, Raj, in this Excel sheet you are going to share with us later on?
Yeah, right. Every day, actually, we use it to share. So, whenever
Okay.
session is over, then we'll sharing that one. So, because we'll keep on updating this sheet.
Okay.
Raj, one more thing. Videos or whatever right now I think is recording videos, right? The videos are sharing to us or how it is?
Yeah, sharing every day. So, when the session is
Videos,
over,
videos
yeah,
also you are sharing.
yes, right.
Okay.
Yeah, system access, document access, plus videos access, both all will be shared.
And one more thing, the system access, which means for the EWM system, right?
Right, yes, sir.
EWM system as well as the HANA DB.
Complete S4 HANA means HANA DB.
Okay, okay, fine.
Okay.
Is RF development is different in HANA and normal ERP?
No, not at all.
Suppose if you use ITS.
ITS is a independent component. Okay, there is no dependence on the HANA database or non-HANA. That is just we are generating the HTML screens for the normal GUI screens. Okay, ITS just regenerate the screen. That's it. Backend logic it never touch. Okay, so whenever HTML is generated, that can be running on the browser. That's it.
So,
But developing RF screens for the EWM perspective.
Which one? Which one?
Suppose to develop the RF transactions in ITS in EWM is different with the other. Suppose ERP. Suppose I have WM.
Yeah,
ERP. WM and EWM. So WM is on the ERP. So EWM is
WMRF and AWMRF, there is a small difference. So in WMRF, we'll be doing complete logic in the module pool program. AWMRF, we are doing our development in the function modules. That is the only difference. But HANA, it is not depending on HANA.
RF development in EWM we are doing on where?
Logic in the function modules. All the logic we are going to keep in the function modules. Okay, that function modules we have to configure.
Oh, okay.
That's the only difference.
In RF screen, it is for module. The screen layout design is module pool programming or any other one?
Module pool only. So screen design, everything in the module pool only.
Module pool programming. Okay.
so there we can use BOPF, right?
No, BOPF is completely different. I will explain that. I will give you some more on the BOPF.
Okay.
If you don't mind, Raj,
Yes, please.
in RF, can you show the RF screen module program one screen at least? I have some requirement that also.
Okay, so program is like this.
Just planning to add one more push button in RF screen.
Yeah, let's say this is RF, right? So we'll be designing screens separately. Okay, you can see that there is nothing in the flow logic. Okay. Okay, this is my
custom program.
screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. and function models. I have to create like this. PPO function model, PI function models I have to create. So I'm going to bind my logic inside the function modules. Okay. And this I have to configure in the SPR. Okay, let's take this. Okay, so yeah, so what are the function models we created, we have to configure here.
So
This is a
whatever module program that is have, that's also function model. That function model we need to add here.
Yes, right. So screens we need to mention here. You can see that 100, 200, 400 screen numbers. We have to mention in here screens. And function models we need to link here. Okay.
Exactly.
So we have to develop the bits and pieces. That bits and pieces have to be linked here in the configuration so that an end-to-end application built.
Okay.
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 Yeah. Yes. So any more queries?
Raj, I have one more. For when you develop these RF transactions, so do you know how to integrate the handheld device to the HANA environment?
For that, we need to have the physical device actually. We'll do up to ITS templates, up to ITS. So we'll generate one link, we'll give it to them so that they can configure.
Yeah, see, that's true. That's because see, I have my smartphone, smart device, so I cannot connect directly to the. So I cannot run that link on my device, right? So that needs to be configured somewhere.
There is some firewall connections because SAP also cannot be connected directly from RF device. So here we have to do some kind of OS level things so to be done. SAP server handheld connection.
So who will be the basis guys or administrators?
Not necessary. So actually, physical who is the contact, the manufacturer, right? They will use some instructions actually, because the application, that device has been built for the connected to the SAP, right? So in this time, they will use some settings to be done. So that we have to do. Plus, additionally, SAP point of view, anything that is also.
Is there a configuration guide for these steps and all?
Which one?
Is there a configuration guide? We have the SAP guides or standard documents we have, or just we have to explore things?
It is completely depending on the device to device. Okay, one device they have different steps than the device. They might have some common steps for the SAP. So even I haven't shown you that. Okay, so we did up to ITS template generation actually.
Yeah, I also done the ITS programming for normal WM. I also done that. ITS programming also done. I have done MTN applications.
Oh, okay.
It's in 2010.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I am aware of this. But coming to this integration, the integrating the devices to the SAP environment, I am not sure. But how to find that, right?
Okay. Maybe just until we have some personal device, maybe we can try to connect that.
Yeah. So at the time I was in India, the devices are in US. So I asked them to send one device to India.
Okay. So generally, when we are doing this completely implementation, so I think it's long back around 6 years, 7 years. So at the time, I have not been in the WM project, but at the time they have sent one RF device also, because they have to and everything. Right?
That's true, because screen size and all different. So, but yeah, actually, I want to have one more question. The screen sizes. Suppose I have one device, like say iPhone size device is there. Because in warehouse there are different devices will use screens.
Correct.
One device will have small screen, one device will have.
So there are two. Yeah. So one
device.
One
so
thing
the screen
is
size will be more.
Yeah, in R2 edges screen sizes there are two things. One is at the GUI level, means our SC51 screen printer. Second one is within the HTML, we can make the changes, right? The two things.
That was a very big task when I was doing the 2010, because we need to adjust the screen for because at that time they used all are same size screen hand.
Okay.
In other client, so there are different sizes of the devices. Some device will hand mounted, some device will hand held, like that. So we didn't. So we figured out what are the applications on each device.
Yeah. In the EWM, actually, we had the flexibility.
I heard. But in HANA, but
In the
I
EWM,
heard that screens will adjust automatically for the devices. Is that true?
not like that actually. So that is a theory actually, not HANA point of view or application point of view. Here, so without doing any additional development, simply there is a display profile. Okay. So what will happen? It will adjust all these screens. What are the standard programs or custom programs? Everything gets changed here. So let's say for example, it is 16 by 20. It can change all the things. 8 by 40, it can do everything. And if it is a new custom dimensions, let's say 10 by 12. So you can see that various dimensions. 14 by 24, 7 by 40. Okay, like this. For everything, screens gets adjusted automatically. Okay, we have a display profile here. We don't need to do any technically. That means development side. It will take it automatically.
So this is in only
But
EWM.
in
It's possible.
In EWM, but in WM we have to manually increase the size.
Oh yeah, we need to adjust the size. Right? So EWM
size,
is
but here it's
both environments, either distributed or embedded.
I'm not getting you. In EWM, yeah, both. It is EWM concept only, right? Correct.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Raj, one small question, Raj. So
Yes.
when the time of training for our practice, you're going to give like any assignments or projects like that for our practice?
Yeah. So whatever the objects we are developing, right? So we have to practice, and I will give some small assignments, not bigger one.
Okay.
So,
anyway.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Raj.
Thank you. So, any queries? Any more?
One more thing, Raj. So in this, apart from the training, video sessions, so do you suggest any additional material for us to prepare?
Yeah, sure. I will share the SAP present books and some documentations. Okay, that is needed for.
Okay, that also you can share or you can refer something.
Which one? I'm not getting you.
Okay.
I will share the documents.
Okay, thank you.
Raj, if you have time, just see. I just heard the Fury so many times, but I never pay attention to it. What is a Fury? How it is being used? If you have time now, can you give me 2-3 minutes of light on it?
Actually, maybe it is better to give some examples so that we'll plan one more session so that I will explain that how it is be there end to end. Okay.
Actually, yeah, where it is used, how it is used.
Yeah, just running point of view, we can say that like. Okay, now you can see that this is the Fury Launchpad, and here let me filter it out. Various application related to ECC, TM, and EWM, and find the EWM one. It's fine symbol. So first time loading it would take long time actually.
Only SAP or other outside
Which one?
Fiori for environment.
I'm not getting these applications. Same, whatever the things we are
Fiori.
going to use, the same thing. This is Fiori actually a non-SAP development. Okay,
Okay.
but SAP managed only. There is no doubt here. You can see that this is RF transaction we have executed earlier using GUI. Now it is from the Fiori Launchpad. Okay, from the browser we are able to see here. Okay, like this. So this is a GUI application.
Well,
Even we have the Fiori.
okay.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, you're asking something.
Yeah, I was no. This is see. Now we are seeing all the RF transactions in the Fury only, Fury Launchpad. So we can
Right.
see it in the either SAP GUI screen or Fury screen.
GUI application can be run from the SAP GUI as well as the Fiori Launchpad. Okay, and Fiori application.
What is the point of using Fury applications? Like because we are using the web browser.
Common interaction, right? So everything we can run from the browser. We don't need to install SAP GUI. So common execution environment. They have given the provision like this. Okay, so going forward, whenever we are using the S4HANA system, okay, so we're completely get rid of the GUI. Completely get rid of the GUI. If you go to the cloud app, okay, cloud SAP, so completely browser-based development and browser-based execution. Okay, so there is a complete there. So this is some customer. One moment, please. So any more queries? Any more queries?
That's all from my side.
Maybe we'll see. No worries. Maybe if you need one more demo, that is also fine. So we'll also discuss the same thing. Okay, we'll see. So there is some running out of my time. I'm going outside. Okay, don't mind.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I stopped me for.
Okay, so maybe please let Naveen know so that we will plan one more. That is also fine. Not an issue. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Raj.
Bye. Yeah, thank you.